All right, everybody, with the Michigan versus Alabama Rose Bowl matchup coming up on January 1st, I want to take a quick look at JJ McCarthy and kind of show you my highlights of things that I noticed about him. So let's hop right into it. We have the Michigan and Penn State game from earlier this year. End of the first quarter here is 3rd and 10 for Michigan. So obviously trying to convert on the third down, obvious passing situation. The defense is going to pressure. So, and I'm pretty sure McCarthy knows that. So in this play, what we get is that JJ McCarthy takes his hand off, and it looks like it's a design QB run the whole way. Michigan's offense, I noticed from my time just watching their games, is definitely not trying to be super high power. It looks like they really want to protect the ball, and they're very risk averse. And that's something that you're going to see, I think, as we go throughout this video a little bit more. So the first thing you're going to see on this play, though, is that I want to highlight that JJ McCarthy actually can run. You know, he's athletic. I'm pretty sure Michigan fans already know this. Everybody who doesn't watch Michigan may not know this. So I just want to highlight that he can run. So on this 3rd and 10, they designed this run call. McCarthy takes it, gets the edge, by the way, and he cuts up the field. Has some nice little wheels on him. He's obviously not Jalen Milroe fast, but he has some decent speed at the quarterback position, and they pulled the guard at the other tackle out there to block, and he actually gets that first down on 3rd and 10. So it's a simple play, but I want to highlight that that's an aspect of his game. If you didn't know, JJ McCarthy can run. So we're going to get into another play where it kind of features his legs again, but this time on a scramble rather than a design run. So on this play, it's actually against Ohio State. So it's Michigan, Ohio State tied 17 near the end of the third quarter, 2nd and 6 here. Michigan is running with 13 personnel. What am I trying to say? 11 personnel, 1 running back, 1 tight end. And they have 3 wide receivers on the field. 2 of those wide receivers are close on the left side. 1 wide receiver near the top of the screen. Running back set to the left of JJ McCarthy. On this play, Michigan is trying to get some underneath throws. Like I said, they are risk averse. They're a conservative offense, trying to work their route progressions and get to the right play. And I'm pretty sure they coach and teach JJ McCarthy, don't make a mistake. And there's a reason why I say that. So watch this play. Ball snap. McCarthy gets the snap. It's a little shotgun play action fake. Ohio State's rushing 4 people, so they're dropping 7 into coverage. Michigan's offensive line gets a little bit overwhelmed here. That's something that you'll notice a good bit, is that they lose the power a good bit. They get pushed back. It's funny, it's not a super noticeable thing because they usually get what they get done, but I've noticed that in a few ways, and you might see that in another type of video that I'm making that's not on JJ McCarthy. But the offensive line gets pushed back into JJ McCarthy a little bit here. So he starts to get a little antsy. He doesn't want to take a sack. I'm pretty sure he said, don't take a sack. So he scrambles here. But if you notice, as the pocket is being pushed forward, his running back number 2 actually leaks out of the backfield and cuts in front of him on kind of an angle route. That running back's open. Also, if you didn't notice, that wide receiver who's at the top of the screen, he's running a drag route right in front of JJ McCarthy. He's open really soon too. JJ McCarthy just has to lead that out, and he can maybe catch that ball and run up the field. JJ feels that pressure internally. The defensive line pushes up on him, and he feels that pressure, so he gets a little antsy. He steps back rather than up or to the following his receivers to the left side. He steps back into the right, and he scrambles instead. And like I said in the last play, he has some decent speed, some good athleticism. So he actually converts on this play and gets some really solid yardage, but I don't think he had to. So I'm pointing out that JJ McCarthy probably is told, take care of the football at all costs. Don't take risks. And sometimes that leads to him holding the ball a little bit when he doesn't have to. So let's go to the next play that I want to show you. We're going to see where it works against him here. So JJ McCarthy is going to take a sack on this play. This is now still against Ohio State, but a little bit early in the game, near the end of the second quarter. It's 4 minutes and 12 seconds left. It's 3rd and 5, so it's a 3rd down. They're trying to convert, probably more of a passing situation, so the Ohio State knows that they need to play pass defense here. But if you're noticing, Michigan is once again in 11 personnel, 1 running back, which is set to the left of JJ McCarthy, 1 tight end, and 3 wide receivers. This might even be, I can't tell who that is at the bottom of the screen, that trips formation where it kind of turns into a trips formation with the motion. That might be another tight end. So this actually might be 12 personnel, which is 1 running back and 2 tight ends. But at the snap of this play, you can see that the number 1, who I think is Roman Wilson, he's in motion And he's gonna just run a little loop up here, and not even a loop. I just call it a loop because it's like a little wheel, but to the first down marker. So this play is designed to get basically near the first down marker, and it turns into a little hitch route, a little short curl that JJ McCarthy is supposed to hit in rhythm. And the reason why I say he's supposed to hit in rhythm, I think this play is designed to go to that play with that motion. Because if you notice, the two receivers, or the receiver and the tight end, who were already stacked on that side of the scrimmage at the bottom of the screen there, they both ran routes toward the middle of the field. There's a slant route by, I think that's number 6, and then the bigger guy, I can't tell if that's number 18. It's hard for me to see, but he kind of runs more of a seam route up the field. So that means you have this little wheel route that goes out toward the sideline near the first down marker. You have one wide receiver who's closer to the line of scrimmage run a slant route. He's inside, and you have another one of those wide receivers in that stack runs a seam route up the middle. So you've left all this space open on the right side for number 1 to be open at the first down marker. And Ohio State, to their credit, is playing good defense. So it's not that this is a completely non-risky throw, but if you throw it on time, there's no reason why the DB should be able to intercept this or get a play on this ball. But JJ McCarthy does not throw this ball. And once again, look at the right guard. The right guard is being beat on this play. So Ohio State actually gets pressure with 4. The right guard is beat. JJ McCarthy feels that pressure. He tries to step up and he gets sacked. The issue is JJ McCarthy feels this pressure immediately. After this play is snapped, I'm pretty sure he notices that pass rush is coming. And I think he never gets on track to throw this ball to number 1, Wilson, on that right side. Even if it's going to be incompletion, right? If you throw this ball early, because I'm pretty sure he knows where the receiver is supposed to be on this play. He knows the play call. You're supposed to throw this ball as he's turning around. And he had time to go ahead and get that throw ready. Number 1's already looking back before that defensive lineman is running past the right guard. So McCarthy had time to just go ahead and sling that ball out there, whether it's a completion or not. But in that way, he doesn't take a sack. He gives his receiver a chance to catch it and maybe stretch out for the first down. If not, just make a guy miss and get more yardage. But like I said, I think this is part of him being coached to be very risk-averse, to not take chances. And he takes a sack. I mean, he even had the running back on an outlet to the left side. The running back immediately runs a swing route. And to be fair, that linebacker's there. But I trust the Michigan running back to beat that linebacker in open space. There were a couple options here that he could have taken. And maybe even that drag route from the receiver or the tight end coming from that top of the screen there. So he just didn't take what he should have here and took a sack instead. And that's something that I noticed he tends to do. And I'm wondering if that's going to come up in this Alabama game. So let's go to another play. Well, McCarthy actually this is Ohio State again. So obviously this Michigan versus Ohio State game, it's a rivalry game. It's played well. Ohio State really wants to play hard. But it's earlier now in the second quarter. So I guess I'm working backwards a little bit with some of my plays. It's 10 minutes and 29 seconds left in the second quarter. Michigan's up 7. Ohio State has 3. They're in the shotgun here. 11 personnel, 1 running back, 1 tight end. Running back set to the right. 2 wide receivers set to the top, and 1 at the bottom of the screen. What you're going to get is that JJ McCarthy is going to make what I would say an ill-advised throw here that turns into a really good play. I would not tell my quarterback to throw this ball at this, especially since he threw it kind of flat. So Ohio State's getting a little pressure again, of course. And what JJ McCarthy does, he has the receiver kind of run a post route, basically, toward the end zone from that stacked wide receiver position at the top of the screen. And the receiver gets inside the DB's leverage, and then there's a linebacker or safety underneath it. So there's 2 defenders right in this area. McCarthy throws this ball into that window. The DB's right behind the receiver. And then that safety or linebacker is right underneath that receiver. So that ball has to go right here. Just right on top of that. And this ball is kind of on a line, that's what makes this play ill-advised. If you're going to throw this ball, you got to put some air on it, or you should. And like I said, because a lot of people are going to look at that result and be like, oh man, he got a touchdown. True. I'm not saying that it didn't get the touchdown. It did, and it worked out well. But against a defense who has a little bit more awareness, a defender who's playing underneath, they might turn around and just catch the interception. Because you can probably see it in the other angle. the defender was right there. The ball went right past his head, like just right past his head. And it was like I said, it was a flat throw. It didn't have any arc on it. It didn't have any air to lead the guy to the end zone. It was thrown directly to the receiver. And that's dangerous. So that's what I said, it's an ill-advised throw. That's the type of thing where, funny enough, he's been coached and like to be very conservative with this ball, to not take as many chances. But then that throw was not the one. So what I'm seeing from JJ McCarthy is that under pressure, he kind of makes some decisions, which this is true of most quarterbacks when they get under pressure, right? That he probably shouldn't make. And the offensive line seems to, at least against good fronts, they may not be able to handle guys who work with a little bit more power. We'll see if that works out like consistently, especially as we come to this Alabama game. But that's just something that I've noticed. So let's go to another play. We got two more here. So we're in the Iowa game. So I want to go to the Big Ten championship game. We got Michigan. They're already up 20-0 here. McCarthy's in the game. It's fourth quarter, 10 minutes, 57 seconds left. 1st and 10 in the red zone. Michigan is running what looks like 11 personnel again, but all 3 wide receivers are stacked to the top of the screen. Tight ends on the left side of the left tackle. Running back is set to the left of the McCarthy. So McCarthy on this play is going to take this snap, right? He drops back. Michigan. Iowa is rushing 4. So notice that a lot of times people are getting pressure on Michigan with rushing 4. It happens a lot, and McCarthy feels that. The left tackle's beat here. Number 13 comes around. The right guard is also beat here. So you have both the right guard and the left tackle giving up pressure here, and McCarthy takes the sack. But look at number 6. But if you guys noticed him, number 6 was open on that play. Just kind of waiting on the ball. He could have thrown the ball to him. It was sitting there. It wasn't the clearest throw, right? Like, it's not like it was a guaranteed completion or anything, but the guy was just kind of open over there in the corner if he went ahead and threw this ball in rhythm on time. Like, it's the type of offense where if you throw in rhythm on time, you can get quick, easy completions, 5 yards, 6 yards, make a guy miss, maybe get even more, but set yourself up for better positioning to get a first down and continue to drive. McCarthy just didn't throw it. And he had time. Like I said, what you're seeing consistent is that he has time to make these throws. It's not like Iowa had the stickiest coverage, or that like as soon as the ball was snapped, there was no block at all, even though that rush did get in pretty fast. I'm not saying that they didn't like really pass rush him, but he had time to make this throw. And not even to mention, oh man, the running back number 2 is leaking out of the backfield in the flat. So even if you didn't want to take the risk on that comeback, that short hitch route, maybe you were thinking that the Iowa DBs were going to ball hawk and jump on that little short route, which I don't think they could have. Maybe your arm's not strong enough. You still have the running back coming out to the left side. You got to take that check down and get some yards. And so McCarthy took a sack when he didn't have to. So McCarthy seems to be very conservative with the ball and not want to take many risks at all, which probably stops him from having many turnovers, keeps some of their drives alive. But it also means that you're a little bit less dynamic and you don't take some chances. So that's really interesting. It kind of limits now how much offense, the output that you can actually have. So let's go down to the last play that I'm going to show you about JJ McCarthy today. And by the way, I know that a lot of these are some of like the not his best plays, obviously, right? But I want to highlight some of the things that he doesn't do well so people are aware. Or I should say, like, some of the things that maybe he just doesn't want to do for the sake of ball security. And I wonder, the question will be at the end of this video, maybe you'll want to talk about it in the comment section. Will that lead to some offensive struggles against Alabama? Will they be able to score enough if he plays a little bit too conservatively? So I'm going to show you one last play and you'll see what I'm talking about. He doesn't take the chance on a one-on-one routes against this single high safety in the Big Ten championship game again. It's Michigan. It's a little bit early in that game. 10-0. Second quarter, 6 minutes, 53 seconds up. It's 3rd and 10. Obvious passing situation. Iowa is challenging Michigan to throw this ball. And McCarthy doesn't. So, like, he takes this snap, right? Well, go ahead and say that it's 11 personnel again. So they like 11 personnel, apparently. 1 running back, 1 tight end, 3 wide receivers. 1 wide receiver set to the top by himself, man-to-man coverage, bump and run coverage, man-to-man. At the bottom of the screen, same thing. Man-to-man coverage, bump and run. they both basically do streaks up the field. They do go routes. The two receivers, the tight end and receiver inside, they kind of run some routes upfield in the middle of the field, and running back leaks out. But the two outside guys have single coverage by themselves. They are basically one-on-one. There's one safety at the top of the screen, meaning that this is a single high safety defense. This could be cover 3, or it could be man-to-man defense like cover 1. One safety over the top, man-to-man coverage everywhere else, which I tend to, I think that's what's going on here. I don't think this is cover 3 based on how the rest of these guys, they followed their guys up the field. And so what that tells me is that Iowa's like, beat us in man-to-man if you can. But the thing is, when you have that type of play, if the defense is going to give you that and they leave your guy one-on-one, and the safety now, unless they have Ed Reed back there, who can like cover the whole field, like with just unstoppable, Earl Thomas, that type of range, you probably will get a one-on-one chance to make this throw. So JJ McCarthy just has to throw the ball up to one of his receivers and see if they can come down with the ball. He doesn't do that. JJ McCarthy takes this snap, he drops back, he waits a little bit. Iowa brings 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys on this rush, and they easily get by the Michigan offensive line. Like I said, they're not the best at pass protection, especially when guys know it's an obvious passing situation. And McCarthy tries to scramble out to the right. He cuts back inside. You've seen it happen. He falls over. He gets sacked when he didn't have to do all of that. He, like I said, I don't know. So I've been saying this to coaches that have been coaching out of it. Maybe Michigan fans can correct me. I don't know if McCarthy is doing that himself and he just decided to be conservative with the ball. He doesn't want to throw it, or Michigan's offense is just like, no, this is what we want. Don't take that chance. And we'll punt the ball back. And so it's just really interesting how they work out in this type of play. So I just noticed that about McCarthy. He seems to be very safe with the ball, except for that ill-advised throw when that pressure came in. And he will use his legs to escape some situations. So funny enough, JJ McCarthy runs a little bit and tries to take care of the ball. We'll see what they do with him in the Rose Bowl. Let me know what you think about that. Let me know what you expect to see out of JJ McCarthy. Is my assessment correct about him being safe? If that's something that the coaches do, is that just him? I would love to know what you all think. I'll see you next time.